Hello everyone, welcome to part 10 module 1 computer networks. So far we saw the basics of computer network, some of the terminologies, and mainly we focused our attention on different types of computer network by scale, that is the local area network, metropolitan area network, wide area network, and their functionality, everything. Okay, then we end up our discussion with a comparison chart of the three. Okay, now we move on to a very important topic. So we are going to see the major functionalities of computer network and how these things are being implemented. I'm trying to give you an overview of it. Okay, so again, all the things which we are going to discuss will be discussed in detail in later sessions, but right now I'm trying to give a big picture of the entire concept. So let's start. Functionality of the computer network. We can broadly classify the functionality of any computer network into two categories, that is the mandatory functionality and optional functionality. That means some of the functions are mandatory. So when you implement any type of computer network, those functionalities should be implemented as a bare minimum. But there are certain functionalities which are optional. For some applications we need them, and for all applications we don't need them. So in that way we can broadly classify the functions of any computer network into mandatory and optional functionality. So let's start with mandatory functionality. So I think some of the terms will be familiar for you, and others we will see very soon. So error control. So error control is something that we already come across in our data communication classes, and we know whenever you are trying to send some information over the network, definitely errors will be there, right? So when the sender tried to send some information, so what is being sent by the sender, say 1011, but at the receiver side the very first one received like that, second one okay, and suppose the third 0 is changed to 1 and that 1 changed to 0, or some only 1 bit or more than 1 bit, such changes can happen, and this is what we call it as an error. A 0 is received as 1. What is being sent by the sender is a binary 0, but it is being received as 1, or a 1 is being sent by the sender and 0 is being received. So that is the simply how we can define an error, and this can happen like a single bit error or as a burst error where a number of bits will be changing like this. Okay, and we have methods like error detection and error correction. In detection we will simply detect that yes, this is what is sent by the sender and this is the one received. So simply the detection algorithm will report that there is some error, and it will not locate the error. It can't locate the error as this position or this position. That will not happen. Simply it will detect that there is an error. Now if an error is detected by the receiver, what the sender can do? The sender can retransmit the information. So this is the first transmission. If the receiver is saying, so this is our sender and this is the receiver, and receiver is saying that there is some error, the error is being reported, detected, then what the sender can do? The sender can retransmit the same message is retransmitted. Okay, so that is one solution. Now without means informing the sender back, the receiver itself sometimes are capable of correcting the error, that is using some mechanism. If the receiver can correctly locate the position of the error as this one or this one, what it can do is, error means the signal changes, right? So this one, actually it should be 0, the other position no problem, this 0 it has to be 1. So in that way the receiver itself can correct the error. So that is the next concept, error detection and correction. So whenever that correction is there, so how this correction is done? By locating the position of the error properly, and that is by means of some algorithms. Okay, so that involves some complexity. So once it is being corrected, the receiver can take the correct information without even informing the sender. But other option is detection and forcing the sender to retransmit the information on second. So this is a means now you will be wondering whether this correction or detection and retransition is preferred. What we can see is most of the cases we are doing this detection and retransmission only, because the total time taken for this correction is found to be much more than detection and retransition. So people will go for so why we have that unwanted overhead of correction. We can simply detect and we can force the sender to retransit the information. So that is the idea. And we will see, I think I just pointed out these things in the subsequent slides that I will read out for you, but for the time being I hope this is clear for you. I think we can read it out also. I mean, this we will see. So error control, in the sense the computer network has some responsibilities like a transmission of data from one device to another device, and the end-to-end transfer of data from a transmitting application to a receiving application, that involves many steps. So why they are writing like that? So there are two cases coming into picture when a sender is trying to send something to an receiver. In between, many intermediate devices will be coming into picture. So the transmission of information means one device to another device, maybe the nearby device, this one to this one, how the transfer is happening, this one to this one, how the transfer is happening. So you may be worried about it, or the end-to-end transfer, that is the ultimate transfer from this sender process to the receiver process, that is the end-to-end transfer. So two types of transfers were coming into picture. In more detailed way, the transmission from one device to the next subsequent device and to its next. In that level you have to focus, and in a higher abstract view, the transmission from the sender to the receiver as an end-to-end transmission between the end point of communication, that is the process. End-to-end transfer of data from a transmitting application to a receiving application, that involves many steps, and many steps in the sense subsequent this single hop transmission, and on the way many things will happen, right? And each such individual step is subject to error. So error can happen at this point, or at this point, or at the next point, like that. At any point the possibility are there for the error. Now let me erase it. The data can be corrupted during transmission at any point. So error must be detected and corrected for reliable communication. By using error control process, error control is a general terminology. It means error detection or correction. That is not specific. By using a detection or correction, any kind of error control process, we can be confident that the transmitted and the received data are identical. So ultimately what we are trying to ensure is what is being sent by the sender is exactly received by the receiver, whether it happened or not. Okay, so that is. And types of error, simply I listed single bit error and burst error, like that we can classify the term. A single bit error means that only one bit of the data bit of the data was changed, in the sense they say 1 is changed to 0 or a 0 is changed to 1, a single bit. Okay, it is easy to detect single bit error. Now what about a sequence of error happened together, maybe due to a natural catastrophe or due to some other failure on the way, a set of bits together may fail. So the term burst error means that two or more bits in the data unit are changed, I mean together. So burst error is otherwise called called packet error, because packet, in the sense as we already seen, the information is in the form of zeros and ones, and that we will group or we will divide. In general we call it as a message, and that is of very large size. So we will be dividing it into some set of bits together, okay, some units, and that unit is in general called a packet. And we will see what about the size of a packet and at what boundary we will divide like this. Okay, that we will see in the later. So for the time being, so this is a unit of communication. So where so packet level error means in a particular packet there will be a number of bits. If a single bit is errored, we call it a single bit error. But instead of a single bit, a number of bits were changed, then it is very difficult for us to locate. And single bit error we can try for locate detecting the error as well as correcting it, because only one bit position you have to trace. But in case of burst error, all those bits, it is very difficult for us to locate as well as correct it. And the packet as a whole is of no use, we are supposed to drop. So the entire packet is said to be having an error. It's we are not from the point of a bit error, now it changed it to a packet error. That packet as a whole is useless now. So where the errors like a packet loss, duplication, reordering, these are also taken into consideration. The normal, in addition to normal error, on the way if a packet is getting lost, in the sense it taken a wrong path, or it may be looping around without reaching the destination due to a certain problem with the routing algorithm we are using, or duplication, sometimes we will flood the information. Same information may be repeatedly transferred by different nodes at different point. If in that case at the receiver side more than one copy of the same message is being received, and the receiver is not able to identify which is the updated or the latest one, and reordering of the message is itself another issue. The message being transmitted in the form of say 10 packets, packet 1, packet 2, packet 3, but at the receiver side say the packet 2 is reaching first, followed by packet 1. Now the receiver should be able to reorder them. There should be some mechanism for that. If it is not reordering, what is being received, it will be interpreted in a different way. So what you are communicating it is fully reordered and it is received in a different fashion at the receiver side. That should not happen. So we can make use of some kind of numbering. We call it a sequence number for tackling this issue. Okay, so many things are there. For the time being, at least you understood what is an error. Okay, so this duplication, information lost, reordering of the message were also taken to be considered seriously, and how these situations is handled in a computer network. So when you come up with the design of a computer network, this is one of the things that you have to focus. Okay, so there should be proper methodology as well as algorithm for doing this. Okay, now this when it comes to the error detection and the correction part, as I already told you, one simplest mechanism for finding errors in the received information uses the so-called error detection codes. Okay, and the cyclic redundancy check (CRC) is something that you studied in your data communication classes. And checksum is another method that we may see in the subsequent discussion. So these two are some well-known examples for error detection codes. So information that is incorrectly received can then be retransmitted. So that is very important. So whenever there is detection, what is the next step? You have to force the sender to retransmit your information until it is received correctly. Maybe when it comes to retransmission, that retransmitted message itself may be erroneous again. Then again you have to ask for retransmission, and you have to repeat the process until you are getting the correct information. But if the maybe after some very good number of iteration you are not getting the data, then you can quit and you can inform the sender also, that user who is sitting at the sender side. Now a more powerful code that allow for error correction is the next level, where the correct message is required from the possible incorrect bits that were originally received. So whenever the receiver is receiving something incorrectly, from the incorrectly received message, the receiver is trying to get the corrected one. Okay, so it will try to do the corrections. And Hamming code is an example. I think we touch up some initial basics about this Hamming code in our data communication course, and I think in computer network also we are not seeing this in details. Those who are interested can read some articles on it, and also from the textbook. So both of these mechanisms work by adding redundancy. So in CRC you might seen that like we are generating a CRC reminder, and that reminder is something and redundant or the additional information that we are attaching with the original message, and with the help of the CRC reminder, that redundant information, we are actually detecting if there is any error or not at the receiver side. Hope you remember the method. We will do the CRC, we have the so-called CRC polynomial. With that we will divide the message, the XOR division, and at the end we are getting some reminder, and that we will happen with the original message, and it will be sent to the receiver, and receiver can do the same division, and if the remainder is found to be 0, there is no error. So in that way the detection is possible, but some kind of redundant informations are being attached, and the same thing is happening for error correction codes also. So in both case something extra will be added just for the correction or the detection purpose. So they are used at lower layers to protect packets sent over individual links, and higher layers to check that the right content were received. So at this point you don't have to worry about what does it mean by lower layer and higher layer. Just understand that same thing I'm repeating many times, and we will see that shortly. The overall design of this so-called computer network, we are so this is one of the functionality, right? Like that many functionalities where everything we will group and we will implement it in using a layered architecture, where we have some lower layers, for a standard reference model we have around 7 layers, and in that 7 layer each layer is having its own functionality, and some of them are lower layers, and from lower layer we will move on to the higher layers. So lower layers are mainly focusing on this error detection and correction mechanism to protect the packets sent over the individual link. So lower layers are mainly for hop to hop communication, and it is just looking at a single link and how the information is being transmitted through that link correctly or not, that is being considered. Now as I already told you that end to end ultimately the end point of communication, what is being sent by the sender is correctly received at the receiver or not, that overall checking is also done. So at 2 different levels we are doing this error checking, link to link as well as end to end. Okay, so these things we will see, and in both the contexts this error detection and correction methods are useful. So now I think so let me check the timing. Okay, I think I don't want to make the videos more lengthier. So that about the error detection and correction scheme. So this is the point where we started. Let me clear the screen. Okay, fine. So error control is what we discussed so far. So similar to this we have some functionalities like flow control is the another one that we will discuss in the subsequent video. Access control is there, congestion control is there, multiplexing, demultiplexing, addressing, and many more. Okay, so important functionalities were listed out here, but this is not the list. We can think of many mandatory functionality itself, and some of the variations also. But mainly why I listed these things, we will try to cover most of them in our subsequent, the course as a whole. That is why I listed them. But something like maybe quality of service, many things were there, but that is not highlighted much in our syllabus. Okay, so that is the reason. So mandatory functionality you can keep on listing like this. This is something most important out of them. And what about optional functionality? Also I listed something from that category, like the encryption of the data, decryption, the compression, decompression, checkpointing, routing. You may be wondering why this routing is coming under the optional functionality, and that we will see. Okay, so all those things we will be seeing in the subsequent discussion. Okay, so for the time being this is the overview, and we will see one by one. Okay, thank you.